I often get asked, how much do editors make, or what should I be charging when they ask me what is my rate? And so in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you what editors and assistant editors are making in different areas of post-production. As editors, we're often having conversations about rates and how much we should be charging on the projects we are working on. And you know, this information is nowhere out there, really. It's more about asking your friends and colleagues to see what they are making, and so you can make your own judgment as far as like how much you should charge when you get hired on a project. I've gone out and asked several friends and colleagues, people in my network, to see how much they're making in different areas of post-production, like scripted television, film, trailers and marketing, documentary, branded content, stuff like that. And so at least give you an idea of what those rates are. And of course, you know, it's also based on your years of experience and what kind of credits you have. There's so many factors involved. Then there's the whole thing about union versus non-union rates. And if you want to know more about the union or how to join it, you can check out a video that I made about that I'm linking to right here. And I'm also gonna post a link to the Motion Picture Editors Guild website, that's the union, in the video description below. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm gonna be sharing a bonus tip with you about negotiating rates. All right, so we're gonna start off with assistant editor rates. And again, these are numbers that I've gotten from my own personal network, friends and colleagues. And also I'm gonna be sharing with you maybe some numbers, some rates that I was making a couple of years ago, so you can kind of get an idea of maybe what people are making now. So let's take a look now at assistant editors in unscripted television. I got rates between $1,000 to $2,800 a week, with an average rate of $1,700 a week. In unscripted television, of course, you know, anything from like reality competition, stuff like that. Moving on to trailers and marketing, assistant editors are making $1,000 a week to $2,400 a week, and with an average around $1,500 to $1,700 a week. In documentary, we got $1,250 to $2,500 a week, with about an average being $1,800 a week. And you know, in 2017, I was an assistant editor on a documentary for one of the big streamers, and I was making $1,600 a week. You know, all those numbers kind of sound about right. With regards to scripted television, this is all union work. And so with the union, the thing is that there is a scale. And so that's the bare minimum that they are supposed to pay you. And so typically, assistant editors on scripted television are making $2,296.15 a week. And in feature film, we're ranging between $900 a week to $4,000 a week. Now, in feature film, union feature film, there are different tiers, being from tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 0 being ultra low budget, and then the higher budget being tier 3. So again, something like $900 a week, that's what you're probably gonna be seeing on a tier 0 union feature film. I mean, look, I was in a tier 0 union feature in, I think, 2016 or 2017. And I remember I got offered $700 a week and was then able to get $900 a week. And that was with my own equipment, my own, you know, laptop and Avid. But if you're working on, say, a big budget feature, you're probably making around, you know, $4,000 a week as an assistant editor. All right, moving on to editors. And we're gonna be looking at a couple other categories that I did not mention with the assistant editors, just because I know editors in these other areas of post. Let's start off with branded content. And I've heard rates going between $1,500 a week to $5,000 a week. And I think like the higher rate probably means that you have more of a producer role. I'm gonna assume, 'cause that's a pretty good rate. And I've heard averages being about $2,500 a week. In unscripted television, again, kind of thinking about reality, we're looking at $3,000 to $5,000 a week. In trailers and marketing, I hear editors are making between $3,000 to $4,000 a week. In commercials, well, I've heard $5,000 to $15,000 a week. I mean, commercials definitely pay well. Documentary editors are making in LA and New York around $2,000 to $5,000 a week. Again, if you're working something more like long form documentary, you might be making less than if you're working on a docuseries. Now, going back to scripted television, again, there's a scale pay, right? There's like a minimum that you must get paid. And so we're looking at here one of the union contracts. That's the post-production majors contract. And for editors, the scale rate is $3,897.38 a week, and that is totally negotiable. Now going on to feature films, and we talked about the different tiers. So we'll start off with tier 1, being a lower budget. An editor on a tier 1 feature film, union feature film, is making $2,292.58 a week. So I don't have the tier 0 numbers, but that would be less than that. For tier 2, it's $3,891.05 a week. Tier 3, you're making $4,095.84 a week. Again, this is all very negotiable. So those are some rates that editors and assistant editors are making out in LA and New York on different types of projects. And really, can't stress how important it is for all of us to share our rates. Let us know, let our friends and colleagues know what we're making. And so everyone just has an idea of what those going rates are. It's important to find that out yourself, to ask around, and hopefully people are willing to share that information, because it's very important to see, what's a fair rate out there. And don't forget that though, these are just rates in LA and New York, sort of, the top markets in the US. So, maybe in a smaller market, you're going to be probably making, less money, but, it's all relative. Honestly, I mean, like LA and New York are very, very expensive cities. So, probably going to make a higher rate out there. Another thing that can make a difference is being a staff worker versus freelance. Typically, freelancers make more money. And I got to say, I used to be a staff worker for many years. I like the job security, if you want to call it that. I like my weekly paycheck. When I discovered freelancing, I knew that I would never go back to being a staff worker again. You have just a lot more flexibility to work on different types of projects. Now, like I said, I was going to share with you a tip related to negotiating rates. And what I wanted to say is that, when you go into a job interview, go in there having your research done about rates, and that means going to ask your friends, colleagues, maybe, posting a question on a Facebook group page, knowing as much as you can about what people are making in those types of jobs. And then once you have your numbers, decide, because they're going to ask you, well, what is your rate? Then decide if you want to go higher or lower, right? Because I've certainly been in situations where I've priced myself out of jobs when I really needed them. And so you got to analyze the situation. Do you need that job? Have you been out of work for a while? Are you new to a city? Are you, building your network in a new city? Are you redoing your resume? Are you now trying to get to work in a different area of post-production than you were in the past? So all these different things that will help you decide is if, you can go for a higher rate or maybe just maybe this time, go lower, right? In most cases, obviously, you definitely don't want to go too low. You want to at least have some wiggle room, but, it all starts from having an idea of what people are making in those types of jobs. And so hopefully this video helped you out, knowing how, what kind of rates are going around, say in LA and New York for editors and assistant editors. And if you have any information on rates in your city or in the type of work that you do, put them in the comments below. Be curious to see those numbers, and it'd be good for you to share them with the rest of the community. All right, my friends, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Hollywood Editing Mentor YouTube channel on the way out, and also check out these other informative videos.